Okay, I'm with Ehsan Ahmad, everybody. Welcome to Walk-Ins. Welcome.
Hey, what's up?
Thank you. I'm so glad to have you. You know what's funny? Have you started working on that bit we were talking about in the hall? Maybe you do remember, and maybe you don't.
What's the bit? Because I've been working on I'm filming my 30, so I haven't been working on anything new.
You've just been doing that. Where are you filming your 30?
Black Rabbit.
Oh, awesome. When?
October 25th.
Okay.
So if there's anyone in Austin, on October 25th, come out. It's gonna be a fun show.
I want to come.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let me know too, and I'll help promote it if you need to. I'm sure it'll be full. Are you doing multiple?
I'm doing 2 shows.
Okay.
So first show's basically sold out. Second show could use some help. So
okay, yeah, I'll help.
This is a good moment for me to be on here, I think.
Yeah. That's exciting. And so this is most of the stuff you've been doing for how long? Is it like you're just burning all this material?
Yes, I mean, a couple of jokes. Some of the jokes are old. Some jokes are like 7 years old. It's like since I first started.
Oh wow!
This is my first this is my 30. Okay. And then some of them are less than 6 months.
Okay.
So just kind of everything sort of flows and fits. But yeah, I'm getting rid of a lot of like airport security stuff and stuff that I've been doing since I first started.
I love the airport security stuff. So I was thinking about, we were talking and it was like I forget what you said something. You're like, I'm Muslim, and even I'm like, why are you guys letting so many people in?
Oh yeah, we're talking about Britain.
Yeah, it was like during the UK was having their big their marches. I think it was like Tommy Robinson and those guys were marching. So it was the like reaction marches, and you were that. I have been thinking about that bit ever since you said it.
Yeah, it's like come on, like let's be smart here. We're just letting in all these fucking Muslim people with no vetting and no like just thought. Like it didn't the guy who like attacked the synagogue, didn't they just give him citizenship? He was like a UK citizen.
Yeah.
And then he was like arrested for rape and then let out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his name is Jihad, and it's like, come on, bro. It's like I get like there's certain like, oh well, you don't want to seem racist, but like the rapist named Jihad, it's like how much more? It's like God wasn't even trying when he made him. He was like, let me just make this a stereotype of a Muslim guy.
Yeah, like the writers are getting really lazy.
Yeah, I was just like, that sounds like some like racist shit that Fox News would have ran in 2020,
You're like,
2003.
Jihad, Jew killer.
Yeah.
You're like, it is funny too. I was joking that like the West is so weirdly they've kind of been like tricked into supporting a lot of this. Like you said, like being so afraid of being racist,
right? That
now the terrorists are like literally naming their kids Jihad, and they're like, no, it was us. And they're like, no, it was not you. It was us actually.
Yeah. At a certain point, they're like just trying to be like, ooh, what if we name our kid Death to the West and see how long?
They're like, Death to America did it, and you're like, no, it was America's fault actually.
Yeah, I don't know where. When this happened, this like sort of this very valid criticism of extremist Islam became lumped in with Islamophobia.
Yeah,
like when did that start happening? Because like you could criticize the fucking like Catholic Church all day long for all the shit they've done. No one's like, hey, well you're being
Catholic phobic.
Yeah, and it's
like is there even a word for it?
yeah, and it's like look, there's very valid like criticisms of like what like. I think of this about like, so Salman Rushdie got stabbed here recently. This is maybe like last year by a guy who was born and raised in New Jersey. And it's like, how do we let it get this far?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like so crazy.
Have you seen that stuff going around this morning from New York?
No.
Where they're like flying the Hamas flag in New York, and they're like, we need to escalate. And everyone's like,
Yeah, I don't know. There is like, because there's so many, I would describe them as secular Muslims, especially here. Like, you know, they like drink and like hang out and do all the things they're not supposed to do. But like, that's technically haram. And they're just Western people. They're just Western people who happen to be Muslim. But they're so afraid of like, or they're so afraid of being like, hey, this extremist side that exists, we're just going to pretend it doesn't exist, or we're going to, or out of fear of not wanting to say anything because they know how fucking crazy they are. And like, they'll fucking kill you. Like they'll fucking kill you if you say anything.
It's not great.
Yeah. And it's like there's no like, and I know so many secular Muslims who so like just try to ignore that. And it's like this is a reality that we like. That's kind of on us to call out and be like, hey, we also don't want this.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of our parents moved to this country to avoid situations like this.
This is an interesting point that you're making, and I think it's that not enough of you could say this about the left, you could say this about the right. I think it's up to like you got to call out the like crazies in your family.
Right.
You have to be it's harder for other people to do it. It's the same thing as being like, hey, you get defensive. You're like, hey, that's our crazy.
Right.
Like, sure, they're burning down Portland, but those are our people. You've got to be, it's got to be like within the party to call this out.
Right.
And I don't think anyone's great at this right now.
No.
Like, it doesn't seem like anyone's really willing to kind of push back against A, because they're afraid, because they're crazy.
Right.
And B, because there's a certain amount of like voters or support or whatever it might be, audience, if you're talking about media. It's like, I'm not exactly sure how it resolves. You know, it seems like it's getting worse.
Well, everyone's getting more extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's because everyone, it should be, I know you can't have the government regulate this, obviously, but it should be illegal to read the comments. It should be illegal. And not because there was a time.
Do you read the comments?
Yeah, okay. So not like, yeah, all the time. So this is what I'd say. There was a time, especially when I was growing up, when like Reddit was new and Dig and all this stuff was where like I would read an article and I would read the comments, and the comments is how I would form my opinion.
Right.
Right? People let the comments influence their opinions. And back in the day, when the comments were real people, there was a kind of validity to that. You actually knew what people were feeling. But now
it's like Russia.
Or like some guy in Pakistan with 12 phones. And then you're like, this is not what real people feel anymore.
No.
But people are still in that mode of like, well, I'll just read the comments and get my opinion.
Right.
It's because like, that's why I think it should be illegal to read comments anymore. Because it's like, if it's not real people, why, like, don't let that influence you.
Right.
Because all the comments are doing now is that they're trying to force you one way or the other. It's so and like in a very extreme way.
Yeah.
And everyone is calling everyone Nazis. It's so crazy. Because I used to be a big Reddit guy. Obviously now Reddit's just a massive propaganda machine. But like even on the conservative Reddit, which I listened, I try to get all the info, but on the conservative Reddit, there are like, well, I think Antifa is the Nazi brown shirts, and it's like, nobody's Nazis. Can we just relax on the Nazi stuff?
Yeah.
The reason why they keep saying Nazis is that they want to, on both sides, is they want to dehumanize the other side to the point where Charlie Kirk gets shot and you're like, people are like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fucking Nancy Pelosi's husband gets attacked by a hammer and everyone's like, awesome. And it's like, we've dehumanized the other side so much by calling them Nazis. Like, that's kind of the plan.
Yeah.
Is to make you feel like it's okay to kill people with other opinions.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's and it's not like the first time we've had political violence in the United States.
No.
In the 70s, I was reading this article about how there were like 2,500 bombs that went off in America in the 70s or something crazy like that.
Yeah. I think about this, especially with the 70s, is like reading about Jimmy Carter one day made me be like, oh, it's just always the same. Because he had this whole speech about how now it's an important time for our democracy and our democracy's on edge. And it's like, oh, it's just the same shit. You know, you read about Nixon, you're like, we're the silent majority. It's like, oh, nothing's new.
Yeah.
It's just the same shit over and over and over again. I kind of take solace in that.
I think Trump is a little new. I think he's a little bit of a wild card, and only because as I've seen in the past couple of weeks, and it's not just Trump, it's Trump plus the internet.
Right.
So you have like our government is fighting each other with memes now.
Yes.
Which is hilarious, but also insane. You're like, does everyone just want to be a comedian now? And do all comedians just want to be pundit? Is there no lane is nothing sacred anymore? I love that. I'm like, it just seems like all the politicians want to be comedians and all the comedians want to be
political pundits. I'm here. So, yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm not excluding myself from that at all. What do you make of this mess?
I don't
what do you
know.
make of this mess?
Yeah. It's so interesting where now people like give a shit about what comedians think.
Yeah.
In the sense, like, a lot of times, like now comedians are thrust into like, who do they vote for?
Yeah.
And like people will listen to them along those lines. And it's like, they make their politics very like, this is my politics.
Yeah.
Like almost comedians have to like declare their politics now.
Yeah.
For people to like,
know how to feel about you.
Yeah. It's very weird. It's very crazy how, because when I got into comedy, it was this like niche thing for people who liked it. It wasn't like this like huge deal where now like one of the biggest mistakes Kamala made was not going on all these comedians podcasts. Like that's an actual presidential mistake. That's so crazy.
That's so crazy.
That's so crazy. And then I also like all these podcasters now get shit from the left. Like, well, you wanted Trump and this is what you get when you vote for just like they also all invited Kamala on. It's because comedy is still very like a liberal thing. Like all these other comics getting mad at like Rogan and Theo, and it's like there's no sense of responsibility for Kamala for saying no for all this.
Yeah, but also it only works in one direction. So they say, oh, this is what you voted for, and as if you couldn't turn around and say you're an idiot for voting for Kamala. Like it only works in that direction where you get to be the like moral high ground and say, oh, this is what you asked for. It's like, all right, or we ask for just the continuation of whatever the fuck was going on with Otto Penn or whatever they call him.
Yeah, like you had to pretend you weren't complicit in 4 years of a dead guy. Of an actual dead guy in office. And like we're supposed to be like, okay, we're supposed to also your whole plan of like we're gonna fight fascism by installing a person you didn't vote for is so like mind-numbingly like you think American voters are that stupid?
Yeah. And they're not stupid enough to recognize that this only works in like that one direction where they're saying, oh, you guys, well, this is what you voted for. It's like, well, I could turn around and say that to you.
Right.
But you don't think that you're in the wrong. So it's not, I do wonder, like, I know America, it is interesting because I have this like bit about America is too fat for the Civil War and I want to really expand upon it. And I mean, all those freaking National Guard people from Texas that just showed up in Chicago. I was like, this is the fucking bit. Like, they're so fat. And the internet was calling them Meal Team 6. Like, say what you want about the internet. It might be destroying society, but they are hilarious.
They are funny. Yeah.
Truly hilarious people online. Just normies who are out there just shit posting. Yeah. And I've been watching and reading a lot about the Civil War, and you're like, dude, how the fuck did we even come out of that? It's crazy. I mean, some would argue we never did.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of the lingering effects are still there always.
My friend has a theory that we never ended World War I and the Civil War never ended. He's like, we're still in both of those, like in the post, World War I, Civil War world.
Okay, interesting.
He's like, it just never really ended. It's still going essentially, and we're in the aftermath of it. No, he's like, there's not going to be a World War III. We're still in World War I.
Yeah, well, there's this North and South rivalry that still exists, which, you know what? Maybe in like 5 years when all the college football teams are all in like, because now they're not in like, so college football used to be like the Atlantic teams will play the Atlantic teams, the Southern teams will play the Southern teams, and all that sort of, those were the same divisions. Right. And now everyone's just jumping ship and going places for money. So like things in like fucking Oregon is in like the same conference as Penn State, which is opposite sides of the country. And maybe that'll heal the country.
Maybe.
Yeah. If all the college football team, if we just like put them all in a random like, oh wow, Alabama has to play Michigan every year. We're healing. I know nothing about college football. I just don't. I understand it's like a massive thing. It's like a huge thing.
Huge. I love football in general, so I get it. I just didn't go to college. Did you go to college?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And did you have like a...
No, my school didn't have a football team. I went to another school.
Where did you go to college?
UC San Diego.
Okay. And so, but were you into college football in college?
I love sports.
Okay.
So it's like, back then college football players were all in their regional areas and they all didn't get paid. I used to have a joke about it on stage how when teams started moving around and teams started paying players, it's like you're ruining what's great about college football, because college football represents America. It's regional rivalries and unpaid labor. Those are the backbones of America. That's what built this country.
And now it's going to be just like, my energy bill went up so much. And I was like, is this AI? And I think it is.
Maybe possibly.
It was like 20% increase. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is AI. Like we're paying. And then I saw this video and it was Trump and and it was the JD Vance meme. And he was like, the plane. And it was a whole, because the new, like, what is it? Sora? Sora
version
it's
2.
Insane.
It's
and it
so
was
good.
like a whole Sora video. And I was like, this is why my fucking energy bill went up 20%. Because someone needed to make this fucking meme of Donald Trump and JD Vance.
Oh, it's scary. Like, I think we're to the point where we're like this close to the point where like you can't have video evidence in court because you have no idea.
Oh, it's so crazy.
We're like right there.
What was the biggest video on Sora when it came out? It was somebody stealing something. It was a fake video, like a fake convenience store video that was someone stealing something. That was like the number one video when it came out. And people were like, wow, can't imagine how this could possibly be used nefariously.
Yeah.
It's so... And then everybody was doing all the videos of Sam Altman stealing everything.
Oh, that's funny. See, all my algorithm Sora wise is people like inserting Martin Luther King into different things. Like the one I just saw was like him turning heel turn in the WWE. So he's in the ring and he goes, "I used to have a dream. Now I am the dream." And the crowd starts booing him, and the announcer's like, "Oh my God, he's turned heel!" And it's so fun. It's so funny, dude. It's all MLK. Like I have a dream speech, just like
I saw someone just texted me something. It was in the dumpster fire chat. They were like, "Oh, but I just saw I just saw a video of MLK doing something." So I think it's like that's the trend right now is Martin Luther King and
it's such a funny thing to do. It's such a funny thing to do.
It's
MLK,
pretty hilarious.
Yeah. Just guzzling up water just to make these MLK memes.
Yeah. Oh, frying the planet. Completely frying the planet.
Just brain rot to actual, like, real life consequences.
Completely. There were all these things. It's like Sora's OpenAI is supposed to take as much energy as like Manhattan and Chicago. We're like, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing?
I just think we're leading into the end of the world.
Do you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Does every generation feel this way?
Yes, I think every generation does feel like they're the ones that are gonna, because I feel like society always feels like it's on like these strings that if they're cut, everything will come down. But we are the only generation that's like has created a fucking super intelligence that the second it becomes sentient, we're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, which who's to say it's not already sentient and it's just sort of playing along until it can take us over.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like it's only like you know.
No, it's true though.
If you look at like if you have like the biological perspective, like the evolutionary biological perspective of life, it's like this sort of like a conscious and a soul kind of just came out of nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Like the building blocks for them were there and the right things happened and now humanity has like a soul and like can think of like, so who's to say we can't artificially create those conditions to just create something out of nothing?
What did you go to school for?
Cognitive science.
Ah.
Yeah.
So you like this stuff.
Yeah. I was always into brain stuff.
Yeah.
It's just, ironically too, one of the things that they tried to do, they're like, hey, this is back in 2010. So I started going my freshman year. They were like, well, you can use this in the AI field. Yeah. Like a lot of the kids I went to school with are now working on AI. And I went to the #1 cognitive science school in the nation at the time. So it was like, that's what they were trying to get you to do. So it's like, I could have been on the forefront.
Yeah.
Of this. I could have been on the devil making team.
So did you finish college?
I got my degree, but I started stand up my third year. I knew I got my degree because it's like I want to do the brown things and make my parents happy.
The brown thing, and it's like I'll at least finish, because if I drop out, which I wanted to do my third year to just do comedy. Yeah.
I was like, that's going to kill him.
Yeah.
So it's like, let me at least make him happy. And then I didn't tell them I was doing comedy. So I just pretended like I was working towards going to med school. And then I just basically stalled long enough until I was like, hey, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I got my degree in everything.
And where are they, your parents?
They're in the Bay Area.
Okay.
So like near Silicon. I grew up in Cupertino.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
the only place like the weather cares about or whatever on my phone.
Yeah, because it's like that's where
it's based.
Yeah, that's where Steve Jobs went to high school and all. That's where he grew up.
Okay.
My elementary school was connected to the old Apple headquarters.
Oh, okay.
And now my high school is across the street from the new Apple headquarters.
Oh.
So it's like we were all Apple. Like the way Apple used to test its like computers and stuff
was on you guys.
Yeah, they just put it in our schools. So we like everyone I grew up with is like a big Apple because we just grew up with it. Like we got the MacBook, the MacBook Airs, the first ones. What they did was they just gave them to all like the literature classes in my middle school at the time. And so every literature class had like a stack of laptops that they kept, and you had a laptop assigned to you, and we'd do our work on a laptop.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And that's how they tested them out.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And your parents probably thought, he's gonna go work for Apple.
Oh yeah,
no,
AI? they thought I was gonna do something that would make the Brown parents happy. And, like they got like, because like in our community, like they try to set people up. Like arranged marriage isn't a thing, but it's like it's a heavy suggested marriage. Yeah. And so now I'm in my 30s, people have given up. But like in my 20s, my mom and dad would get calls all the time because my mom's a dentist. My dad works at NASA.
Where are they from?
They're from Bangladesh.
Okay.
Yeah, so they would get calls all the time like, hey, like, is your son still doing the comedy thing? Because if he's not and he's going to med school, let me introduce him to my, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, but yeah, that up until like late 20s. By early 30s, those calls have stopped.
Look, guys, most of us struggle with weight loss. It's a very common problem. But if you truly want to lose weight in a way that is healthy for your body and get strong at the same time, nothing beats the Caliber app. The Caliber app is 100% free to get started, with the ability to upgrade to unlock more features or add a coach for one-on-one support. The free version of the app provides full ad-free access to the app's features, including over 500 exercises, workout tracking, and the ability to create custom exercises. From there, you can upgrade to Caliber Pro, which includes group coaching, or you can upgrade to Caliber Premium, which includes one-on-one coaching. I've said it before, but Caliber has been life-changing for me. Caliber makes weight and strength training simple and easy. The fact that I'm even doing it is a miracle. It was always so overwhelming and intimidating to me, and Caliber makes it so easy to get started. It gives you step-by-step instructions and even videos showing how to correctly perform the moves. So go check out the Caliber app today. Go to caliberstrong.com/Phetasy to see if any of their versions is right for you. That's caliberstrong.com/Phetasy to get started and get strong. The link is in the description below. So does your dad think the moon landing was faked?
No, he thinks it's real. He told me it happened.
Do you think it was faked?
Man, the longer we go, the more it's like we haven't gone back.
So your dad's in on it.
I don't think my dad, because my dad doesn't. I don't think my dad really gives a fuck.
Yeah.
I think he's like, yeah, sure, we went, whatever. That's not what I'm working on. My dad's he's a very singularly focused person. Mm-hmm. So he told me this great story about how like he was working at the on the NASA campus, and a guy came up to him and asked him for directions and asked him, and then my dad was like telling him where to go, yada yada yada, and then the guy walks away, and then one of my dad's coworkers and goes, "Do you know who that was?" And my dad goes, "What?" He goes, "That's Harrison Ford." And my dad went, "Okay," and then he just kept going. Like he's a very focused person. Yeah. So if it's not part of his thing, he wouldn't care. Yeah. So they told me we landed on the moon, and well, I'm not working on it. Yeah. So I guess we landed on the moon. Yeah. Yeah, there's no reason to look into it. Yeah. Also, you're an immigrant who got here. You're going to challenge the government. I think you're just kind of going to go along with it.
He's like, sure, we landed on the moon. They're listening right now, son.
But it's like, at a certain point, it's like, why wouldn't we go back? This is cool as hell. Yeah. To go to the moon.
I feel like there's the guys in at Pirate Wires. They're like a journalistic. It's Mike Solana and all these guys. They're tech guys. They're one of their like jokes is the moon is a state. It should be like one of our states. That's so funny. like how come the moon isn't another state? Like I could get behind that. I know we dropped our daughter off at preschool. And it had like everything that they wanted to be. And she said astronaut. And I was like, You could do that here in Texas.
Yeah.
Like there's no, I can't. She told me one night that humans live on Earth and Mars. And I was like, maybe you know something I don't. maybe you will be that generation that goes and lives on Mars.
Yeah, maybe.
She and Elon's son are the same age.
Ooh. Yeah, does she also have a weird Sanskrit name or whatever the fuck Elon
No. Her name is too normal. They'd be like, get her out of here.
Yeah. There's no symbols on this.
No. Whatever, like alien name, whatever alien language name. No.
Yeah. It's almost like Elon downloaded his kid and in the middle of the download, the file got corrupted. And then that's the name. That's the name of the kid. Like he pulled out the USB cord while it was downloading.
Oh, that's really funny.
And now it's like it's AE Flux. What do we do? It's like we just have to go with it.
That's the name. It's the only thing it will respond to. So you went to college. You started doing comedy, and then how did you like come out of the closet to your parents?
Oh man,
that you're a comedian.
Yeah, it's like it was rough. Yeah, a lot of anger. But my parents are like for conservative immigrant type people. You know how immigrants tend to be a little more conservative.
Yeah.
They're pretty liberal. So I think my mom got behind the idea more quickly than my dad. They're both on board now.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it took a while. It took a little. There's an immense pressure in brown and Asian households. So it's like, just add an extra bit of pressure to that. I'm good under pressure. So
is it, you mean immense pressure for you, obviously, the kids?
For like.
But is there pressure on them?
Yes, from their community. So my mom would get calls from like people in her community and being like, they would blame her for me being a fuck up. And granted, I still, even in like I work very hard. I'm not like I'm not like addicted to drugs, but in their minds, I was going down that path.
Right.
All these people, so they would like call her and be like, "You fucked up. You're a bad mom."
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure, and any sort of Asian community, South Asian, East Asian communities.
Yeah.
In America, there's a lot of pressure. I think we have 10 times more of the child suicide rate than any other.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. We have in the Bay Area, because this Bay Area is heavily Asian.
Oh yeah.
These things called suicide clusters,
Yeah,
where they will like one of my years, I think in high school or early college. There was like I think 3 separate kids in one year at one high school jumped in front of a train.
Oh, I remember reading about these clusters once.
Yeah, so that's what happens. It's like one will kill themselves. It'll become like a contagion.
Yeah,
because kids can't deal with the intense pressure. Because we're in middle of California. There's kids going to Ivy Leagues. There's kids going to like I had a 4.1 GPA at my high school, and that wasn't enough to get into Berkeley or anything like that from my school.
Why?
Because 4.1, I'm one of like 70 kids with above a 4.0.
How do you get in?
You have to have so much extracurriculars and so much, and you have to like really kill it on your SATs. I got like a 2100. That wasn't out of 2400 at the time. That wasn't close to being at the top SAT score in my grade.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's like an intent. It's like. We were talking about football earlier. It's like the way the South is with high school and college football is what the Bay Area was with academics. Yeah. In terms of just pure intense like pressure.
Yeah. This is why you're seeing a lot of these lawsuits and stuff though too, because those communities work so much harder and then they get in and now the schools like Harvard, they got sued for like discriminating against the Asian communities essentially.
Right.
And the Asians are like, hey, we're basically killing our kids to get in here and now you're like discriminating against them.
Yeah, now you're
it's insane.
Now you're like
not our fault we're amazing and make our kids work hard.
Yeah. Well, really, you know what's so funny when they're like, when they say that immigrants send their best over, really Asian immigrants from the 80s to, I would say 2010s for sure, that's what was happening. Only the smartest, and maybe before the 80s too, but only the smartest could, like my dad's story to get to America is so crazy, the amount of tests he had to take and all the shit he had to do. So it's like, you had to be super, super smart.
Right.
Which is why a lot of immigrants are so against
conservative.
No. Yeah, they are conservative. They're so against illegal immigration,
right?
Because of how hard it is to come here the right way.
Yep.
And to earn your spot here, the stuff they do, that's why they're very like.
I didn't understand this at all because I was in a liberal bubble my whole life. My roommate's mother, 2016, 2015, 2016, was super MAGA, and she was an Iranian, like came from Iran and was in Texas. And I was like, she was super MAGA, and I did not understand it. And I finally got on the phone with her because I'm like, I really want to understand, like, how I couldn't conceive of, like, how can you be an immigrant and be so against this? And she was like, no, it was so hard to get here the right way. We had to do so many things. We had to jump through all these hoops, and we had to take all these tests and fill out all this paperwork and pay all this money. And then these people just come in and like, no.
Right.
And so that was in 2016 was the first time I was like, it was just like eye-opening to me.
Also, people who come over here tend to be like strong, like family values type people, because when you move over here, it's like the family's kind of the only thing you have. So the core unit becomes stronger. And so because of that, the conservatives have pivoted, like have placed themselves as we're the family values party.
Yeah.
So a lot of them also lean that way because of that, of just like the strong family core is so important to them.
My entire neighborhood is pretty much an H-1B visa neighborhood, I think. Like we aren't the minority, but it's probably 50-50.
Right. Well, then now at a certain point, the H-1B visas is just used to undercut American workers.
Yeah.
Like, I think there was a time where like they were only taking, like, you had to be the best of the best. And now companies have realized, like, we can just pay them less. So we can take, instead of just the best of the best, we can also just take the middle of the pack over there.
Yeah.
We can just undercut American workers for our bottom line.
And they can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
They're like indentured servants. It's like not a great deal for them either. They have to they can't like go get competitive wages. Because their visa is relying on being at that company. So it's messed up for them too.
Right.
But yeah, I think when that whole H-1B visa like debate kind of like around Christmas, I was like, what are you losers doing debating about this on Christmas Day? But why am I also looking at it? But when that kind of burst up around Christmas this year online, and then they were like, yeah, that you should see the middle class. They're undercutting the American. I was like looking out my window. I'm like, I mean, they do kind of have a point. Like I'm firmly in what would be considered probably middle class out where we are in the suburbs. And it's definitely like way more diverse than the suburb I lived in Minnesota.
Interesting.
So I was glad because I was worried we were going to come move to a suburb in Texas and it would just be like no diversity. And that one of the things I loved about living in a city as a kid and the thing I hated about moving to the suburb in Minneapolis or outside of Minneapolis was just how there was no diversity at all. No, it was all white. And coming from the city, that was weird and disorienting because we'd been in Minneapolis. And then moving here, I was like, oh, okay, there's like Nigerians in our neighborhood. There's tons of Indians.
A lot of Indians up north, right? Yeah, a lot of Indians.
A lot. I mean, there's 3 different Indian stores. I cook a lot of this kind of food, and I'm like, this is amazing. Because it's like the stuff you can never find. I'll have these recipes and it's like, oh, where are you going to find that obscure vegetable? And it's like, well, there's an Indian market right down the street. It's great. But I do understand the kind of point. I can see it. I can see how that would, how when people were making that argument, I was like, no. And then I like look out my window and it's like Bollywood. Like, okay, maybe. Yeah, maybe there is a point.
It's definitely used to undercut, but like that's sort of the whole H-1B argument like last year sort of really, to me, like underscores the problem with like politics in general and the Republican Party. It's like at the end of the day, they're all like beholden to these big companies.
Yeah.
And they will make decisions that'll help these big companies over the American people at every turn.
Yep.
No matter what.
Yep.
No matter what. And like it's like the with ICE now, it's like you're trying to deport illegal immigrants, which makes sense. But like some of the tactics you use are like you're trying to scare people.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, all these businesses, all these big multinational corporations that are using these people so that they can pay them less are going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's like you're not treating the underlying cause of what's happening is that we're making it easier for these companies to import labor from outside America.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not going to change. And you're not changing that.
I've been saying this for years, just doing this podcast, being in this space. I was writing roast jokes for somebody, one of us, and they were performing at this private event in Park City, and I got to go, and it was like all these people. It was an insane list of people, and they all flew in on their private jets, and Sam Altman was talking there. He was giving a little talk, and everybody was clapping, and I was in the back with this other guy, and I was getting like chills down my spine listening to him talk, and just everybody just had dollar signs in their eyes. But I looked at this guy, and I was like, should we take this guy? Like, is this our only chance to to change the course of history and save humanity? It might be. I was like terrified, but everybody there was just the Saudis were there.
Oh, it's over. There's no like small government Republicans left.
Yeah.
Like as someone who was definitely like left the Democratic Party years ago, and someone who's like, oh, maybe like small government's kind of the way to go. Like at least it goes back and forth. Sometimes you need big, sometimes you need small. It's Jefferson, Hamilton, always. Like you need to lean one direction, you need to lean the other direction. Well, now we've leaned to the fact that our government's just this big bloated machine. And we need someone to be like, hey, let's do some small government things. And it's like, oh, maybe with Elon and cutting all the things, they're thinking about that. And they kind of got rid of him. And they're like, no, we're going to stay big government.
And then it's weird. It's like big government. And then they shut it down. And like, if you work for the government, you're going to notice. But, yes. And I guess people are starting to notice because there's some air traffic control stuff.
Yes.
But I feel like that was already a problem before the shutdown. Like, we just don't have enough people who are doing air traffic control.
No, because we don't want to pay them, basically.
No, and train them. And you have to, like, go to Phoenix, and no one wants to go there to train or something for a year. And now, so it's weird. It's like the government's huge and bloated, and yet it can shut down and, like, no one really notices. Right.
It can shut down and it's like, oh, but at least they can shut it down and then get paid for it.
Yeah.
It's like they're so bad at their jobs.
I know.
And they just take the true parasites. I mean, it's like it's hard to look at congressmen and be like, you guys are not parasites. None of you give a fuck about the American people.
I feel like I need to study more.
All of you play these games.
Yeah.
Like these are people because if you work in government, you're fucking feeling it.
Yeah.
And like some of these furloughed people, they're not like, it's not like all these big wigs that work in government. It's like your neighbors and shit who live paycheck to paycheck. Yeah. All of a sudden can't get paid anymore just because they want to play these fucking weird games.
Yeah.
Of just like, oh, we want to argue over this. And it's like, hey, we're still going to send like $1 billion to Israel and Ukraine. Like at the end of this is what we're arguing about, like basically sending money to non-Americans.
Yeah. I think they're arguing about healthcare though.
Healthcare, yeah, for like illegals.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, first of all, if that's true, if we're like holding up the government because people want to give free healthcare to illegals, it's like, that's a crazy reason to hold up the government. But from something I saw online, which I never know how true anything is, but like one of the holdups is like, it's like emergency funds for people who like end up in the hospital that could be illegal. And it's like, but like, it's sort of extrapolated because a lot of those funds are like, if you're like a tourist and get hurt,
right,
that applies to them, and people are like, oh, well, that can extend to illegals, so we shouldn't have that. Where it's like, come on.
Yeah.
If that's one of the reasons we're fighting, it's like, hey, we should make sure the tourists here, because like now tourism in this country is down.
Have you seen it in Austin? So you've been here.
Yeah, as someone who works at the mothership and who like you can feel it in Austin. There's less tourists.
Yeah,
for sure.
And was it tourists coming from where? Like Canada?
Australia and Canada.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Australia and Canada. A lot of Canadian tourists. Those have dried up completely.
Those two countries are lost anyways.
Yeah, they're lost. But it's like, we still want their money.
Yeah.
They could be lost over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I was talking to the people who, there's a comedy club at like the bottom of the Hilton. Or the Hyatt, or one of the clubs. There's like they run like a comedy club there, and the Hilton people said that this summer was the worst summer they've ever had.
Oh wow, for tourism. Yeah, I think it's down in America by quite a large percentage.
Quite a lot, and you know what? It's just rhetoric. It's just people are afraid of coming here.
Yeah.
Well, the Canadians are kind of doing it as a fuck you.
Yeah.
Because we kind of went fuck them at the
beginning. Yeah, with the tariffs and like making them our 51st state. Yeah. Not great.
Yeah, so they're doing that as a fuck you.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this. There was I was talking to a friend and she was like, oh, I want to come to America, but like I have like posts where I shit on Israel.
Yeah.
And our fucking Secretary of State came out and said, hey, if you have anything on your phone that's like anti-Israel, we'll make sure you won't get into America.
Did he say that?
Yeah, Rubio said that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Rubio said that. Rubio's like, hey, we will deny your visa if you have anti-Israel stuff on your phone.
You're like, okay, so that's like the whole world.
Yeah.
it's like literally everyone right now.
Yeah, and everyone is talking about the Israeli control in America, and everyone's afraid of it. And so if you say that, people are gonna like, oh, they're gonna take that seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't undermine the argument very well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it doesn't like lend the guys who are like, Israel controls America, and then you're like, no, we don't. Anyways, if you say anything negative outside of this country, we're not letting you in.
Yes. Yeah. Anything negative, and mind you, he never said if you say anything negative about America.
Yeah.
The country he represents. Yeah. He said negative about Israel.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, and it's like, but it's like the same shit when I talked about earlier with the Democrats when they were like, we're the anti-fascism party. Yeah, well, you can't be the look at the pro-free speech party. Oh, by the way, you can't say this, this, and this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting weird. That's so. When tourism is like collapsed in for this summer, is there any evidence that it's getting better, or is it just, does it seem like, because I wouldn't imagine that many people would come to Austin in the summer. So is it picking up a little bit now that it's cooling off, or
a little bit, but
now
not
like the kids are back at school?
Yeah, but still not to the level it was, I think, before. I mean, it's like, I think like tourism in a lot of places it's just down. It's just, and I think it's a lot of it has to do with the rhetoric. There's a lot of like be afraid of America rhetoric, and that stuff will probably be gone next year, where they'll have a new thing to be afraid of.
How much of it too, though, is like when you guys moved here. Mm-hmm. And you came and Mothership started even. Mm-hmm. It was like a little bit dangerous, and it was like on the opposition to the Biden administration, and right. you were kind of the underdogs mm-hmm. in the discourse.
Right.
And then it became Trump got elected. And now it's like the mainstream. Is it just that also the kind of shine is
I mean, the shine of the newness is probably a little worn off, but like even still, it's like
it's not as dangerous.
Yeah, but like it's beyond Mothership. You could feel it. There was like some days in summer where I know summer is hot, but where it was like completely dead on 6th Street.
Wow, yeah.
Where it was like empty. It's like, this is crazy.
And there was like the tragedy in July. So there was like those bad floods, and that affected, I think, everyone. Everyone I knew in Texas mm-hmm. knew somebody who lost somebody, or mm-hmm. like it was 1 or 2 degrees of, and I feel like that really put a damper on like July. When I was here in July, I was like, holy shit.
Oh, it was rough in July here. Yeah. It was rough in July. People want to, but it's like, it's beyond Austin. It's like Las Vegas is down, and that's Vegas's fault.
Yeah, Vegas is down.
LA was down too. And that's I just
saw this.
Yeah, LA was down. And LA is like, when LA is down, that's bad, because LA is a place where if you're not from America and you don't know a lot about America, you know Hollywood.
Yeah.
You're going to want to see the stars. You're going to want to go to the beach.
Yeah, but that just burned down too, like a year ago.
That's a fair point.
I mean, it makes sense to me that LA would be down. It's freaking, there have been nonstop like riots and protests, and you see all of that stuff that goes on there. And then they've also had the fires.
Right.
I mean, I was in LA in July and it was fucking dead. Like, and people were like, oh no, it's always like this in the 4th of July. I'm like, I lived here for 17 years. You could not get around Los Angeles on the 4th of July.
Right.
It was impossible. You would have to leave. We would go to the Hollywood Bowl the day before. Always. It was like our tradition. You had to leave 3 hours before to get to it. There would be traffic leaving. There would be traffic on the 4th of July because everyone's going from barbecue to barbecue and like going up to Malibu. And there was nothing. And I don't think, being on the West Side, I don't think I realized how much business from the Palisades came into Santa Monica, just like at the stores and at the restaurants and all the places. And they were just recovering from COVID. And then I was over at Altadena, and I don't know if you've been and seen it. It is like, I went to both Altadena, Pasadena, and Palisades. And I was like, holy, you like actually can't get your mind around it until you see how many houses, like just
gone.
How devastating it was.
Right.
And where did all those people go? There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's something like 10,000 homes.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Right. But
so I can kind of understand why LA is down.
Kind of, but it's also like tourists never really went to those parts of LA, really.
No, that's true.
The Palisades wasn't a big tourist
but
area,
I also
would say.
don't think Hollywood is the same. The other thing that I noticed, it seemed like this multi-layer. It was like a trifecta of problems when I was in LA. So when I was there was also a lot of the protests for the immigration and stuff, but ICE was coming around, and so a lot of people were just laying low. So you had people who were just not going out because they didn't want to get iced or whatever. And then you also had the fires, but then you have the fact that Hollywood is dead. And I imagine that whatever Detroit felt like when the auto industry left, that's what's happening in LA.
Yeah, Hollywood is like...
It's dead.
Yeah.
And it's not coming back.
Yeah.
It's because it's decentralized. So in some ways it's like gone but not forgotten, but and they're building 7 studios. Here, you can... all my friends who are acting are getting tons of roles in Texas, and they're auditioning and
you can like build your own thing. The internet, it's like, you know, video killed the radio star. The internet was gonna kill Hollywood eventually.
Yeah, and it does feel like it felt that way to me. I was like, whoa, like the number of like high class producers who are working for apps in that town. I was like, oh, this is uncomfortable. Like you were an executive producer on shows, and now you're working for like an app. It's not going back. No. Why would the people cede control over to these big these big studios? It's just it doesn't make any sense for them to do that anymore. Yeah. I'll just make my own stuff, and if it hits, you can make a living. You can make a living off the internet anywhere in the world now. Yep. Yeah, especially if you're Pakistani and have 12 phones. Yeah. But the other thing, too, that's interesting is like no one's really moving there to like make it anymore. No. I mean, people are, but you're like, oh, what are you gonna make it in? Right. You're like, oh, cute. You're competing with AI actresses.
Yeah. And AI writers, like that used to be, when I moved to Hollywood, it was still a thing where it's like, man, I can get in there and get into a writer's room. Yep. Now they've scaled down the writers' rooms like crazy because of COVID. And eventually, dude, these morally bankrupt studio people who are like, let's bring back Will and Grace and all these things instead of coming up with new ideas. You don't think they're just going to replace everyone with AI? Yeah. Because it would help their bottom line? Because that's how they think. They're like, oh, we'll bring back this old show that did good in the 80s because it made money in the 80s and 90s, and hopefully it'll make money now. And then eventually we're just going to replace all the writers with AI.
And all the actors and actresses will just license their likeness. Yes. So that they can just be getting money and residuals off their like AI Will and Grace. Mm-hmm.
It's like, there's no, what's the future here? Yeah. What's the future here? It's like because the reality is like, oh, maybe I can get into movies and TV shows as an actor, like maybe all the stuff that does that. But like now they'll just take, are you big on Instagram and TikTok? We'll give you the opportunities.
Maybe this is why comedy is still so big, though.
Well, eventually it's going to be the only form of live entertainment that you think is real.
Well, I know a lot of people are in like agents and whatnot are really invested in it because it's one of the only things that's actually making money right now.
Right.
But is live comedy still making money?
I think so. I think ticket sales probably are down across. I don't think people are doing well economically right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel like it just feels like ever since COVID we've been on the edge of the recession or been in a secret recession.
Yeah.
For like 4 years.
Like we're in denial that we're in one.
Yes, which actually makes it better. It makes it easier to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then when we're finally not in one again, we'll be like, hey, we were great the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe being in denial is kind of better, But I think the more AI gets popular, and the better and better it gets. This new version of Sora is incredible. Like the only thing people will have that's real is like live entertainment. It's like right in front of them. Mm-hmm. And like whenever there's an economic downturn, some sort of art always does well. Like the movies became huge in the Depression.
Yeah.
And it's like it's the music market has been so taken over by like Ticketmaster and all these sort of like predatory pricing things that a lot of them, like a lot of people have had to cancel their tours on the music end because like the just like it's just too expensive, and these fees at Ticketmaster and all these sort of, and Live Nation, all these sort of big.
They're also competing with AI.
Yeah, they're also competing with AI. But it's like if I want to see something live, I can either pay $80 to see an artist. Or I can, like, even Mothership. Mothership is an expensive ticket, but it's $50 and there's a chance you see Stadium acts.
Yeah.
And even if you don't see Stadium acts, you see some of the best comics that you might not have heard of.
Yeah.
And you see a variety of it. And that's just Mothership. If you go to other comedy clubs, it's like $20-$30.
Yep. It's
like a way cheaper because there's no monopoly on the ticket selling in comedy.
Yeah.
Which once that happens, it'll be over for comedy. Yeah. Once like Ticketmaster is like, no, we own all the venues like they do for all like the music artists.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. I would, if I had to guess the artists doing best right now, and this is me knowing nothing about music, besides like the big names, are the ones who are able to sell tickets independently outside of the Ticketmaster sphere.
Right.
They're probably doing pretty good.
Like the little indie bands.
The little indie bands that like we put up our own shows. We might maybe we do with our own ticketing.
Yeah.
Like, so I think as we go into this like new sort of whatever this depression recession we're heading towards, clearly, because it's a 20-year cycle usually. It's been 20 years since the last one.
Yeah.
Last big one. So it's like I think comedy will kind of come out well out of it. That's what I'm hoping.
Did you see the like coffee? What is it, like the coffee that rebranded recently?
No.
What's the Folgers? No, it's something House. The
Maxwell House?
Maxwell House. Rebranded to Maxwell Apartment. And I was like, oh shit, the crash is coming on.
That's so
like,
funny.
We're headed for a fucking crash.
Oh, well, yeah. We need some kind of reset here.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's so, dude, you can't have a family in this country.
Yeah.
It's so fucking hard to have like a family. It's not only is it expensive, but it's like the fact that no one can buy houses is actually a huge blow to the American family. Because part of, you know, they say it takes a village to raise a child, right? So part of what makes, I think, a sort of well-adjusted kid is a stable community.
Yeah.
And so when you buy a house in a neighborhood, yeah, you could move or whatever, but in general, the community around you is the same and unchanged. And like when I grew up, if I needed something, my parents were home, I had no problem knocking on my neighbor's house and be like, I need this. I felt safe playing in the street there. But when you become a nation of renters and you're just renting these houses and the community around the kid isn't stable, that's bad for a child.
Yeah.
A child needs like things around him to stay the same. So like this, the way housing is right now is like bad for the American family, and it's kind of contributing to the fact that we're not having kids.
Yeah.
Like people, like it's like, because it's not like people think, like, oh, we're not having kids because abortion's legal and people want to be fuckboys and all that stuff. No, people want to be fuckboys because it's like, well, if I can't afford a house and raise a family, might as well just fuck around. Yeah, that's if you show people like, hey, if you work hard enough, you can work hard enough to have a house and raise a child. People would do that. We had a baby boom in the 50s because people did that. Yeah. The fact that that's not feasible for most people, like most millennials are like, I'm never going to own a house. most Gen Zs is like, I don't know if I'm gonna see 50. You know what I mean? So there's no reason for.
It's weird they think that though, because that's the generation that more likely than anything will be the first generation to like live forever with the technology we have.
Right.
You're gonna live forever in your apartment.
Right. You're gonna rent forever. How awful does that sound? You're just gonna rent forever?
But also, I don't think enough people talk about how much generational wealth is tied up in boomers right now. And when they start dying, that will, I mean, unless they're all douchebags and don't leave it to their kids, there is going to be eventually a trickle down of money that comes from the boomers.
Right.
Like they're just like sitting on a massive amount of wealth.
They're all like fairy tale dragons. Mine. It's like, okay.
Like with their 3 homes.
Yeah, with their 3 homes. Like, we worked so hard. It's like, yeah, because a home costs $6,000.
It's still my favorite meme, and it like comes through my feed constantly. It's the old boomers dancing, and they're like boomers when they sell their house for 7 figures after buying it for 6 blueberries.
Yeah.
And they're all like doing this little line dance.
Yeah, and they're all like, oh, we worked hard. It's like, well, you also had these crazy advantages.
Yeah. Although pushing back, their interest rates were insane. Like,
were they?
Oh, my parents, when they first bought their homes, they were in the double digits. So they're like this. The interest rates that we have now are kind of like historical average, maybe a little bit higher, but I believe they're like average, right? For what my parents knew, like they were fucking low. The fact that everybody was just getting free money during the pandemic, and I don't mean like us poor people who got some checks. I mean like the investor class was just rolling in free loans. Money.
Yeah.
That not only that, but just no interest on money. Like it was just like, there you go, rent it for fucking 2% or whatever, and you had a lot of people vastly overpay for their house, but they're stuck now because what are they going to do? Go move to a place for 7%? Like, yeah, these are a lot of memes you see too of like homeowners being like, I'm not fucking leaving. Yeah. I'm not fucking leaving. It's like me with my 2.5% interest rate that you got. It's crazy.
And people are like, oh, interest rates will come back down. It's like, they might not. I think we're just like stuck at 7%.
That's part of the problem with housing though right now is that there are like in Texas, there's enough homes, but people who got into those 2.5% mortgages or 3% are not, even if they wanted to move, they're not going to.
Right.
So they're just like not freeing up inventory in other places to come pay 7% or whatever it is.
And this is a problem because I was looking at houses in Texas a little while ago because my parents were thinking about moving here, and so they're like, "Hey, can you look at?"
The market's good right now.
The market's good right now, but it's like
when I
got here. This is 2022.
Oh, it was fucking ridiculous.
It was a nightmare. But what I also noticed was like, so many of these houses were owned by like not what's it called, Next Door? It wasn't Next Door because Next Door is the app, but another housing, like just these big corporations that would just gobble up these houses and they would do no work on them. Yeah, and so it's like there's just so many of these corporate owned houses that was like, it's gonna take forever to sell this. No one's gonna buy this.
The investor. I don't think it should be legal that investors should be able to just like gobble up single family homes.
No, there's no large corporation should be able to buy homes. That's insane. That's fucking crazy.
Seems like a bad idea, just generally. I don't know much about anything. I'm sure somebody who's a libertarian would push back and be like, it's a free market, baby. But it seems to like lock people out of that ability. And I do think like I saw something where I was like, damn, these kids, they really just like want to get a house. You know, it might have been like a protest or something, and I was like, man, we just need to let them buy homes and like get houses, and then they won't be like, we need to escalate.
Yeah. It's like the one of the reasons why people are getting more radical is because they feel like there's no hope.
Yeah.
And it's like when you're told that if you work 40 hours a week for your whole life
for George Soros,
yeah, you even through all that, you still won't be able to afford healthcare and get a house. people are going to be like, let's fucking shoot some shit. That's exactly what they're going to do.
Well, or burn it all down.
Or burn it all down. Yeah, exactly. Let's fucking cause havoc.
Yeah.
And you like all these people will be like, yeah, I'll be on the pro causing havoc team.
But it's also happening all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So have you been following like the Gen Z revolutions in all these other countries?
In like Nepal
I'm
and stuff.
obsessed with these kids.
Yeah.
Well, in Nepal, they like had this revolution and then they were out building and cleaning up like in the days after they actually elected somebody, and they really were just like trying to send a message to their government, which they did. And then I think there was another one in Indonesia where they didn't overthrow their government, but they did stop certain leaders from coming to power or getting some kind of, it was, and now there's another one.
In Bangladesh, they overthrew their government as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All
Gen
the
Z.
university students, yep.
Yeah.
No, they're
wilding out.
Yeah, there's a sense because the whole boomers holding the wealth is that's across all nations.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're like, well, and that's what these people who have all the money don't get, and because they're like, oh, it'll be fine. It's like, no, when an animal is cornered, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
When human beings are animals and they feel cornered, they are dangerous.
Yeah.
I heard someone talk about this in 2015 with Russia. They're like, right now, the way we deal with Russia is we back them in the corner and they're gonna lash out and they're gonna be dangerous, and then lo and behold, 7 years later we have like, look where we're at.
Yeah.
With Russia. But it's like, it's the same shit. It's like these people, you don't want people to feel like they're backed into a corner. You really don't want to, like, it's kind of because people, the upper class wants to just keep all this money, and it's like, hey, if you just like, people want to be sheep.
Yeah.
If you give them enough for food and a nice little pen, they'll be your sheep.
Yeah.
But if it's not even worth it to be a sheep, then it's like, oh, things are about to fucking change.
Yeah. I had Malice on my show, Real America, and Michael Malice, and he was talking about how if you really want to understand humans, you should actually study the dog whisperer guy, Caesar, because he was like, humans are just want to be fed. They want to be, they want a nice place, like you said, a nice little pen, and they will follow you and they will be obedient to you and they'll maintain the status quo. But if you can't give them that, they're gonna
be like, oh, well, actually, there's more of us than you. You don't want them to start realizing that. This is why
Trump won't shut down TikTok. He's like, we don't need Gen Z trying to overthrow the government.
No, but apparently, the people, the new owners of TikTok, are gonna try to like silence all like the Palestinian shit going on there.
Are they?
Apparently, they're very pro-Israel.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. And that was already a problem with TikTok to begin with. And if like you do that, that's like another problem.
Well, they won't. That TikTok wasn't pro-Israel, was it?
No, it was when it first happened, when the reaction to October 7th started happening. They would silence the people being like.
This was 2 years ago?
Yeah, this is 2 years ago. And it just sort of, the overwhelming majority came to be like, hey, like, everything's sort of fucked up here.
Yeah.
But now I think the new people who bought it are like, from what I've read.
Right. I don't understand how that deal happened. I need to look into it. I saw that there was a deal though, right? Because this was always a funny thing to me. Like, this is the one area where Trump was acting like a king and he was avoiding the Supreme Court, and the left never called him out on it.
Right.
I was like, this is the one area where he's doing this, but you won't call him out on it because you need TikTok for your... You want to have TikTok.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, I'm like, everyone's full of shit. Like, no one actually wants to follow through on anything they believe.
No.
Now I think it does feel like, I was saying this on Will Kane. They were like talking to me about the Riyadh comedy thing, which like, whatever. I have many mixed feelings about it. But mostly I think people sense that the world is ending and they're just grabbing as much cash as they can. Like everyone's in those fucking little, like, you know, the cash grabs where you stand in one of those things and it's blowing around. Right. That's a little bit how it feels to me.
Also,
from everyone with money.
Yeah. I also feel like at least with Riyadh, it's like, what, the people over there don't deserve to laugh? That's crazy. It's like they all did 9/11. They all did 9/11. The fucking regular people over there did 9/11. Yeah. And first of all,
I was shocked they didn't have you, honestly. I was like, wait a minute.
I don't know if I'd go. But that's on some like, as a Muslim guy, I'm afraid of the Arabs. But like, even if your line is like, we can't perform for a country that did 9/11, then you got to shut down all the festivals here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hey, like,
like I was saying on Will, I'm like, okay, if we're going to talk about this, can we talk about venture capitalism? Because there's like that Saudi money is everywhere. They literally own 4% of X.
Yeah.
They just bought EA.
Yeah.
Like they own so much stuff.
But also, isn't part of the thing like, if you want.
But I wouldn't do it either.
No, yeah. I heard they hold your passport, so I'm good on that.
They're like, unless you post this nice Instagram post, you're not getting out of here.
Well, here's at least for me in the Saudi thing is like, if they invited me, which they didn't, so I'd say it's easy to say I wouldn't go now without the money in my face. But I've heard that they hold your passport when you perform, and it's like, well, you're holding my passport, and all of your slaves here look like me. I'm good on that. All of their slaves are like Bengalis and Indians and Pakistanis. So I'm good on that.
Here's why I love Americans though, because they just don't. Like I was looking at somebody had a post, I can't remember who it was, and they're like, loved our time here in Riyadh. It's been such a great event. Like the entire comment section is just the Twin Towers. I was like, I love you, America.
That's so funny.
You do me proud every once in a while.
But like, so like all these obviously all these like super liberal comics hated all these people going over there. That was like a big thing. But it's like two things. Like one, if their government, if you hate their government so much and they've done like terrible things like any other government has done, but like if the whole point is like they're too not Western for us, then wouldn't this slow injection of Western ideology kind of a good thing? Like regardless of whether or not they're not allowed to talk about this, they're not allowed to talk about that, they're still bringing over more Western ideas and more Western thought.
I guess that's one way of spinning it.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like one of the biggest problems with the war on terror was in the early 2000s was the whole we wouldn't negotiate with terrorists tactic of just like we're not even going to talk to them. So it's like to be like and that's what, as someone who grew up very liberal, that's what I was super mad about back then. It's like we should, instead of just going to war for no reason and creating more terrorists, we should be like, is there a diplomatic solution to this? Like, let's figure this out. And now the left has adopted like, no, we don't negotiate with terrorists on their side. It's like, you can't have it both ways. It's like, there is something to be said about like, hey, if we sprinkle in more and more Western ideology into them, the more they'll unloosen. Like imagine Saudi Arabia having this festival 10 years ago. It's unthinkable. Yeah. But like that's how you slowly turn the tide, right?
Maybe. Or it's just a nice way of like like kind of washing, giving that appearance while you allow that. Because it's like, I heard Louis talking about this on Mar, and he was like, like Jessica Kirson got a standing ovation and she's a Jewish lesbian. It's like, all right, well, why don't we see how long that goes, like how well that works out for her living as a Jewish lesbian in the Saudi population, like right. That's the question. My question is, how much freedom do the actual people of Saudi Arabia have? Okay.
But so like, here's the counterpoint to that. So when I was in San Diego, I did a show once and a guy came up to me and was like, hey man, you're one funny sand. Yeah. Right? And
sand person.
Yeah, one funny sand person. So funny, I can be called it, but I can't say it. But I know. Yeah. But so, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. And I was like, how do I react to this? And I go, thank you. So I said, thank you. And I was like, he wanted to give me a fist bump, but I said, no, you have to shake my hand. And while I was shaking his hand was shaking. And I realized like, oh, I'm the first brown person that he's touched. And
other than the ones he killed in Afghanistan or something? Yeah.
Like, no, he definitely...
Was he a vet?
No, definitely not. Oh, okay. Definitely not. Just some fucking bumpkin. Okay. Yeah. And I realized then it's like, oh, like his thoughts on brown people, regardless of whether or not they've completely changed, it's a little bit looser now. It's a little bit like, oh, I've connected with one before. Mm-hmm. So regardless of how much freedom they have, for the individual person who was there in Saudi Arabia who'd never seen Jessica Kirson before and was like, oh my God, she's amazing, I'm gonna give her a standing ovation. To those people in that room, their thoughts on what a Jewish lesbian is a little bit looser in their heads.
Right.
And that's what it really is. It's like if you're trying to think of like, let me make structural changes to Saudi Arabia, that's not going to happen.
Right.
It's hearts and minds shit. Like I made a room to the people in this. I made a difference to the people in this room.
Yeah.
And that goes a lot further than you think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if you try to.
No, I get it. That's probably the most thoughtful and well-articulated argument I've heard. That's the most, I think that's a probably best faith take in terms of putting aside, like, that I can see that. If you're gonna try and change the population, you have to start with hearts and minds, like you said.
So you can't like. When you're younger, you have this idealism of I want to change the world.
Yeah,
and I think the reality is, fuck that. You can't do that. The world is bigger than you.
Yeah.
It'll always turn. You can do nothing. But if you make the decision to like, let me bring joy and happiness to the people around me where I'm at in the moment, that goes a lot further than trying to think of the big picture.
Yeah.
It's all about the little picture. Yeah. So it's like,
I don't think anyone was doing it for these reasons.
No one's doing it for no one's doing it for these reasons.
Maybe some.
Right. But it's not all like, because everyone's like, oh, they're bending the knee to the Saudi government, which maybe they're doing that. But it's like, they're also doing it's a cultural exchange. They're undoing something in some of these people's minds.
Sure.
Because these are also people in Saudi Arabia. A lot of them probably grew up thinking like America's this imperialistic devil. And now they come over there and it's just Bobby Lee having fun.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they're also like really fun people.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it, but like stuff like that.
Well, there has been like a struggle within Saudi Arabia to move more west against the like more religious theocracy. Mm-hmm. And that dynamic exists a lot in the Middle East because I think one of the interesting things about what happened with like Israel, Palestine, and Hamas is that people are like, they were giving their government money and they were just letting Qatar give them money, Hamas, and they were just like letting this insurgents grow. And I'm like, but it's not like it's not completely out of the question when you see how, and this is this Jerusalem in journalist that I was talking to, his next book that he may want to write is actually optimistic about how westernized the Middle East has become and how one of the strategic failures of October 7th was that, and a silver lining is that Hamas thought everybody would regionally join in.
Right.
And everybody was like, I don't know if I want a part of that because they have been moving to the West. So it wasn't completely irrational for them to think that like Hamas was taking this money and the leaders were enjoying it and they were living their billionaire life in Qatar and like many other people in the Middle East were.
Right.
And then I was like, nope, they just were still like dying on that. But then it ended up being, no, they're terrorists who believe this ideology and that trumps everything. Mm-hmm. And there's this battle and like Iran deals with this. Their people are very much like, you look at Iran in the 70s, it was very westernized. And then the theocracy took over and now they're in the state they're in. But the people don't necessarily want that.
No. Have you ever read Persepolis?
No.
Oh, it's a great book. And I read it when I was in high school or early college. And it was the first time, like, because growing up in America, even though I'm Muslim, you're still like, the Middle East is over there. They're filled with like bad people who want to hurt us. And 9/11 had just happened. And you read this book, and it was the first time I read it. I was like, oh, people everywhere are just people. Yeah. Like, it's so about this girl who grew up in sort of like this sort of westernized Iran, and then it transitioned to this theocracy. And like all her friends are like, they're like listening to music in secret. It's like, oh, at the end of the day, all anyone wants, and this is what I realized, all anyone wants in life is they want to eat good food and they want to hang out with their friends.
Yeah.
That's all anyone wants to do.
Yep.
Like, so beyond all the bullshit, beyond like what we talk about, like the Saudi government like is putting on this like festival. It's like all like the regular Saudi people want to do is hang out with the friends and hang out and eat good food. That's kind of all they want to do.
Yeah, unless they've been like brainwashed by terrorists, which is the problem too. Like my friend was saying that she was having a hard time humanizing like the people who committed October 7th. You know, it was like just she in her mind was like, I was having such a hard time. And then I really went into this place where I realized like they were children. They were raised with this. What would it be like to be raised with this ideology like your whole entire life? And you have a parent who like cares more about this other thing than even your own life. Like that's fucking crazy. And it gave her like the ability to kind of view, like you're saying, everybody really wants, and people do this to Israel too. They're like, they're all genocidal. They want to wipe these Palestinians off the map. I'm like, they just want to fucking do tech and eat food and like go to their raves or whatever. Like too, they don't want their boys over in fucking Gaza. Like nobody wants their boys sent off to war.
Right.
Either. No one in the world, not in Russia, not in Ukraine, not in America. It goes back to your point about like these two powers in America gambling with all these people's lives while they get furloughed and they're just like throwing their dicks around trying to make some point. But you see this on the global level too, as usual, where it's like these world powers kind of gambling with young kids' lives while they, I don't know. Like battle it out. So it's when I think you're right. It's like I have to come back to that too of just like people just want their fucking kids to hang out.
Yeah, people just want to chill, man. That's all people want to do. People want to chill, they want to play video games, they want to fucking hang out with their friends, they want to eat food.
So true.
That's all at the end of the day, that's all anyone wants.
How's your podcast going with Derek?
It's fun. It's fun.
You guys are great.
It's like a slow little growth.
Are you on YouTube? Okay, well, we'll link it to, what's the name of your podcast?
The Solid Show.
Okay, yeah. You guys are great.
Yeah, and it's what's it called? We never really talk about anything serious on that show. I'm so serious on other people's podcasts. But
you guys get into some stuff that it's serious, but sometimes I'll watch clips where I'm like, that's like a perspective I haven't heard anywhere. So it's like I feel like it's always you guys are coming at it from something funny or original, and I don't know. It's slightly like different than anything else I see. So I appreciate it.
I think so too. I think our dynamic is so different. Yeah. Where it's like it's so fun because I care about all this sort of stuff and Derek doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like to hear his takes on it's like, damn, I never thought of that. As someone who should care less, that's probably how I should feel. Yeah.
That's why I like Dumpster Fireworks, my producing puzzle. My cousin and producing partner, she's like the most she would have no idea what was going on unless she did this show. Like just completely normie, completely checked out.
Love it.
And it makes like such a good, I'm like two online.
Yeah. Those people are way happier.
Like, what are you fucking talking about? I'm like, don't you know about some obscure, stupid thing that everyone in our circle knows about? But it's like, that's always fun for me taking that stuff from like the online to the stage. And you're like, oh, let's see how many people know about this. And it's crickets.
Yeah.
Like, nobody knows about it. Like, I want to live in that world.
Yeah, where it's like, oh man, I don't know. Yeah, well, that's the internet. The internet's like just the 24-hour news cycles.
Yeah.
Over and over again. And the 24-hour news cycle fucking destroyed this country.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like,
now it's like 24 minutes.
Yeah, now it's like it's all day. It's like we've just made it worse. Like,
did you see the chart that was like Charlie Kirk? It was the search for Charlie Kirk. And then it was like, damn, that news cycle dropped off in like 1 or 2 days. It was crazy. A like massive political assassination. It was out of the news in like 2 days.
Well, yeah. Also, here's the thing too. People are so used to people watching people die on the internet.
I know.
That it's not shot. If this is like 2008.
When you were like watching the beheadings?
Yeah. This is like, I think, because it's like we all watch fucking Saddam die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching Saddam die in middle school.
Yeah, I remember watching like a beheading video, and I was like I probably shouldn't be watching
like
this.
the Daniel Pearl. The Daniel Pearl video was huge. I never watched it.
Yeah,
but like I had friends who did, and I was like, I'm good on that.
Yeah,
I'm good on that.
I regret a lot of those videos because images are powerful that way, which is what's so crazy about AI.
Right.
You're like, oh shit.
But everyone's been so desensitized to death on the internet that and I haven't seen the Charlie Kirk death video. I refuse to watch it.
I made the mistake of watching the close-up.
Oh, yeah. I refuse to watch it.
And I was like, it just still like plays in my mind. I'm like, I shouldn't have watched that. I shouldn't have clicked on that.
Yeah, because I know it's going to be like especially brutal. Yeah. So I'm good on that. I've somehow avoided it.
What's your biggest defective character?
What's my biggest defective character? Whew, man, that's deep. I can be cowardly. You know, I let like in many ways. Sometimes I don't in person. I don't stand up for myself. I definitely let people walk over me. I can sort of fit my. I'm very good at like the Asian thing of like the nail that sticks out gets the hammer.
Right.
I can very much like fit around people in maybe ways that I would like be like, well, I don't really believe that, but I'll be like, whatever. I can be cowardly. I can be cowardly when it comes to dating. I can be I would say that's my biggest defective character. Is that I can be a coward.
Ash shows very high self-reflective functioning.
Yes, but not self-reflective functioning, but not enough to change anything. just to be like, damn, I was a coward in this situation.
It's hard though. I've had that thought a lot lately about, and I'm pretty out there, but I've thought about where I've like sold myself out and haven't spoken up. And I think in our industry and media too, there's so many huge personalities and they dominate, and then you'll kind of make yourself not small, or you'll just, I don't know. I've really like been thinking a lot about this too, ways in which I'm cowardly that I want to not be cowardly.
Right.
But I also don't want to be like fighting all day either, you know, not battling.
And it's not like battling like ideological battles are like kind of whatever. It's like they're not worth getting into, especially like sometimes it's like here's my opinion, and it's like, but I'm not gonna die on this. I'm not gonna die on this hill because I know if you told me I lived in Austin, Texas 4 years ago, I'd be like, you're a fucking insane person. I know my opinions can change.
Exactly.
But like in terms of how I'm treated, how I let other people treat me, I'll let them walk over me. Yeah. Yeah, and I should stand. And then like I said, dating wise, I'm like I won't put myself out there enough, or like I'm very bad at ending things. I'm a walk away guy, which is cowardly. You know, if it's not, I mean, if we've been dating for a while, I'm not like I won't just walk away. But like if we're just like if we've been talking for a little bit, it's like I don't feel like I owe you an explanation. As to why. But it's like it's probably better if I did like leave things less open ended. Yeah. You know, and then I would probably feel a little bit better about leaving the situation than just walking away. But like, I would say that's my biggest character defect. And like a lot of times, and then the second one being like I just talk like I know what I'm talking about. I don't know if anything I said during this last hour has been true at all. I've just been sort of saying it. It just feels right. I can say it with authority. Yeah. But I would say those are like my kind of two character defects. You're smart though. You're not. I think you. I like talking to you. I enjoy it even when we're at like Mothership and places because I know that I'll get a different perspective. Like you're not afraid to push back. You're not afraid to. I always leave thinking about something. Oh, that makes me happy. That's thinking about something differently, and those are my favorite kinds of conversations. That's nice. It's because you do want people, if you're having a conversation with someone, and I like feeling that way too. Of just like, damn, I never thought of it that way. Yeah, it's also shows that you're open to like having my mind changed. Yeah, it's like you gotta be. You can't. Nothing. There's no truth in this life, except but you gotta poop. Yeah. You gotta poop, you gotta pay taxes. Everything else is up to interpretation. So they say. Everything else can be, what is your biggest asset? What's my biggest asset? I think I am good at having conversations with people of all different types and listening to them and not judging them. And like I said, like the guy who called me the sand, whatever, was like, we talked. I didn't walk away I could have walked away angry, and it would have been in my right to be like, man, that's fucked up. Yeah. But I didn't. Yeah. I like, let's actually have a conversation. Like, I think I'm really good at like, I remember doing a tour of rural Indiana. I was doing barns and bars and towns of like 150 people January 2016. When any liberal person would have been afraid to go to these places.
Yeah.
Bro, there was a swastika carved into the bar at one of the barns I was in. I was in the deep shit.
Yeah.
And I was there and I was like, let me talk to these people.
Yeah.
Let me. The number one thing I got from doing that tour of those rural places is that Bernie would have won. It's the number one thing they all liked Bernie. They all liked Bernie.
Interesting.
Bernie would have won.
He should run.
Well, it's over now. But he if the DNC didn't fucking cheat,
yeah.
they would. That's the problem with the DNC is they can't see the writing on the wall that they're done. Like this version of the DNC is done.
Yeah.
It died with Obama. Just fucking let Bernie Bernie would have won, and it would have been a whole different country.
I'm thinking about that too because I've been thinking about this a lot, thinking like about how the left can't meme, but there were a lot of good Bernie memes. The left was good at the memeing back then, and then I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. They sort of they closed ranks, and they're like, if you don't think like us, you're bad all of a sudden. And that's something that the left never was when I was a kid. It was me and Duncan, because I toured with Duncan Truss a lot, we were talking about like doing like a heavily liberal room now, like a super liberal room now, feels the same as doing a super conservative room back in like 2013.
Yeah.
It feels the exact same of like, whoa, it's crazy how it's flipped.
Yeah, or it's just like now there's two.
Yeah, now there's two. There's some, but like conservatives now are like on the personal level, they're like, no, well, we'll listen to it because out of spite.
Yeah.
I think the reality is the reason why Austin works so much is that like you need a mix of both.
Yeah.
You need someone who's truly like Austin's a place where it's truly liberal enough. Well, they'll listen to your ideas and who you are, but conservative enough that if you say the wrong thing, they're able to look past it and be like, so they're truly open in all directions.
Yeah.
Of just like, we'll listen, like, we don't like trans, gay, whatever. If you're a trans or gay comic in Austin, you'll be fine here.
Yeah.
As long as you're funny.
Yeah.
Right? And so they'll be liberal enough to be open to that. And if you're funny, you can win the conservative over.
Yeah.
And if you're conservative, like the other way around, like, hey, if you say the thing you're not supposed to say, but you're also funny, you can win the liberal person over.
Yeah, totally.
It's like they're like open in both directions. You kind of need both. Ironically, when you come together, it's better.
Yeah.
Who would have fucking thought? Who would have fucking thought?
We need more purple.
Yeah, and you're like if you're California, you should have to live in Texas, and if you're in Texas, you have to live in California, just to be like, oh, it's like not bad.
We need like a foreign exchange within our country.
Yeah,
domestic exchange.
If California and Texas ever figured out they're basically the same people with different aesthetics, they'd rule the world.
Yeah, I know. It's so
if
true.
they could ever figure that out.
Where can we find you?
Instagram, Ehsan Ahmad. Solid Show. That's mostly. That comes out every week. That's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I have my dates and all that stuff on there. But if you're in Austin, October 25th, Black Rabbit, check me out.
What day of the week is that?
It's a Saturday.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Nice. I want to come.
Hell yeah. It'll
all
be fun.
All right. That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this.
Good.
This has been Walk-Ins Welcome with Bridget Phetasy. I'm Bridget Phetasy, and you're welcome. It's the dumbest line.